Hello friends, welcome to Kamath Astrology. In today's video, we will talk about the Sun Ketu conjunction at the exact same degree in the sign of Libra from 18th October 2023 to 30th October 2023. Now, Mars will also be present in the sign of Libra at this point in time, and this is a highly spiritual conjunction which occurs twice around once in 18 years. Now, have a look at this chart. You can see the red square, which is the sign of Libra or Tula, in which there are three planets: Sun at 0 degrees, Ketu also at nearly 0 degrees, and Mars also in the same sign of Libra but slightly away from Sun and Ketu. Now, on 14th October 2023, there is a solar eclipse, and therefore you can see Sun is with Ketu. But on 18th October 2023, these are at exact same degree. That is, Sun and Ketu are at exact same degree. So let us first understand what is the sign of Libra. The sign of Libra represents relationships, partnerships, balance and harmony. The Sun, on the other hand, is the universal soul. The Sun represents the father, the government, people in authority. Sun is also your self-confidence. Sun is your willpower. And what is Ketu? Ketu is Moksha Karaka. Ketu is the significator of suppression, liberation, isolation, detachment. So what happens when the significator of power, confidence and government comes with the significator of detachment, isolation and liberation? Now, since Sun is the universal soul, when it comes in contact with Ketu, it results in the liberation of the soul, or it creates situations which are highly spiritual and beneficial to the soul's advancement. That is, this is a highly spiritual conjunction. But spirituality is not easy. High spirituality means suffering on the material plane. And therefore, Sun-Ketu conjunction will deflate egos. Sun also represents our ego. It gives low self-confidence. It also brings about isolation and detachment, which is necessary for spiritual advancement. So from a spiritual perspective, this is a very positive conjunction. Now, because this is the sign of Libra, Sun gets debilitated here. Why is that so? Because Libra is the sign of balance, harmony, enjoyment, partnerships, and when a king falls prey to enjoyment, it results in a downfall for the king. So Sun is debilitated in the sign of Libra is the general understanding. Even Mars becomes a bit weak here because it is in the enemy sign of Libra ruled by Venus. But there is something different here. You can see a Parivartan Yoga between the Sun and Venus. That is, Sun is in the sign of Libra ruled by Venus, and Venus is in the sign of Leo ruled by the Sun. So there is an exchange of houses between the Sun and Venus, each occupying the other's house, which means Sun will utilize the energy of Venus and Venus will utilize the energy of the Sun to balance out events. Now, if you look at India's horoscope or India's natal chart, this is the 6th house in India's natal chart. And the 6th house represents conflicts, diseases, enemies, debts, loans. Malefic planets in the 6th house always give good results. But good in the sense of overpowering the conflicts, overpowering diseases. So it does not mean that when these planets are there in the 6th house, there will be no conflicts, there will be no problems. It simply means that these malefics give the power to overcome the conflicts that come, and majorly during this time, because sun represents government, sun represents authority, this conjunction is going to bring trouble to the government. Not just the government, anyone in a position of high authority, position of power, this conjunction can bring problems to you on the material front. So, because Ketu is the significator of separation, detachment, and Sun is the significator of power, this conjunction can indicate a loss of power for many people. You might feel directionless during this time period. Now, why is this so? Because Ketu and Rahu are illusionary planets. And when it comes in conjunction with the Sun, you feel a loss of direction. You don't know what you want to achieve. Because Ketu is headless, it has a limited vision. So there is a loss of direction, but this conjunction is very good if you spend your energy in spiritual activities such as meditation, healing, yoga in this time period. Now, in India's horoscope, Sun rules the fourth house of Leo, and fourth house represents the motherland. It represents the masses also. It represents the happiness of the general public. Now, this fourth lord is going in the sixth house of Libra, and the sign of Libra represents relationships and partnerships. The sixth house is also the opposition. And therefore, during this time period, the government will face a lot of challenges from the opposition parties as well as the ground level workers and masses. And because this zone of Libra represents the southern region, I can clearly see that in the southern states of India, such as Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, all these southern states, there is going to be a lot of chaos during this time period. Now, one more thing is, because the Sun and Venus have exchanged houses, even though conflicts will come, even though problems will come in this time period, there will be a woman in the government who will help overcome these problems, who will help overcome these challenges. Venus represents the feminine energy. And because the Sun and Venus have exchanged houses, a woman in power will help overcome the conflicts for the government of India. Saturn aspecting the sign of Leo shows a lot of restrictions on the general public in this time period because of the chaos that will occur. Now, Sun also represents politicians, Sun represents people in power, and therefore during this time period there will be a lot of political disturbance across India, because Libra is the sign of relationships. It is the sign of balance and harmony, and with Sun, Mars and Ketu placed here, it clearly shows that during this time period there will be some kind of conflict in our country, especially in the southern states. Mars also represents the police force, Mars represents the army. So during this time period, whenever there are some kind of clashes, some kind of disputes involving the general public and the government, the use of police or armed forces may have to be done on a large scale, is what I see because of this conjunction, especially starting from October 14th till the period of 31st October, till when this conjunction lasts. Now, in our personal lives, this conjunction can bring about relationship issues. The health of father can become afflicted for many people during this time period, because the Sun represents father, Sun represents the government, Sun represents the authority. So to me, the month of October shows some kind of clashes, especially in the southern states of India, such as Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. On a physical level, because Sun represents vitality, Sun represents power, you might feel a bit drained out or exhausted during this time period because Sun is with Ketu. And the best way to overcome this exertion, to overcome this stress, is to meditate. Now, during this time period, worship of any Devi will bring you a lot of benefits, be it Goddess Lakshmi, be it Goddess Durga. It is going to bring you a lot of benefits because the sign of Libra represents a Devi. It is a Devi Sthan. And Sun is the soul. Venus is the feminine energy. Sun and Venus have exchanged houses. So, worship of Devi during this time period will bring you a lot of relief from many of the problems. Chanting the Lalita Sahasranam, chanting Durga Stotras, or even Lakshmi Mantras during this time period will give you a significant amount of relief from the bad effects of this conjunction. Now, Sun represents leaders, Sun represents authority, and Ketu is the headless being. So, during this time period, certain headless decisions, certain wrong decisions by leaders can bring about major problems to the general public. So, that is also one factor which I see which can happen across the world, not just in India. Now, both Sun and Mars are extremely hot planets. Ketu is also an extremely hot planet. So, during this time period, the activity such as solar flares may increase in a big way. In the month of September, right now, also, we are seeing solar flares have increased. On September 9th, there was a solar flare event which resulted in a short radio wave blackout over the Pacific Ocean. And again on September 11th at 9:30, today there was solar flare which again resulted in blackouts in areas such as Japan, southern states of China and South Korea. Now, what else? Suppose Libra is the 10th house in your horoscope. Say you are born with the Capricorn ascendant, in which case this becomes the 10th house, or you are born with the Taurus ascendant, in which case this becomes your 6th house of daily routine. Now, because Sun, Mars, and Ketu are present together in Libra, Libra is about relationships. What this means is that for these two ascendants during this time period, relationship with bosses, relationship with people in power and authority, relationship with father can also come under stress during this time period, especially for Capricorn and Taurus ascendant. Another thing is Sun represents the universal father, therefore Sun represents our ancestors. Ketu represents the world that lies beyond, the energy that lies beyond. And therefore, during this period, if you do worship your ancestors, if you do donations on their behalf, if you feed the poor people, it will benefit you in a big way. Doing rituals such as Tarpan during this time period will bring a lot of good merit to you. Worshipping your Pitras, ancestors during this time period is an extremely good thing to do. Now, all of us have heard the word Dhum Ketu. Why is it Dhum? Dhum means smoke. Smoke is nothing but illusion. And Ketu represents the world that lies beyond. So, Dhum Ketu actually means a comet. So, whenever a comet is passing near the earth, the possibility of earthquake increases. Although it is very good to look at, passes once in 400 years, the possibility of earthquakes increases. So, as I am making this video, tomorrow, September 12th, there is a green comet that is going to pass the earth. And this comet can bring about earthquakes, not necessarily, but there is a possibility. So friends, this conjunction is a highly spiritual conjunction. Make the best out of it by praying and meditating to the divine goddess during that time period. And you will see a lot of positive changes happening after that in your life. Now, many people feel that Shakti or goddess is different from Shiva or God. It is not so. Can you think of a fire without its power to burn? Shakti is nothing but power. The fire becomes ineffective if it does not have the power to burn. Can you think of the sun without its rays? The sun becomes ineffective without its rays. It has no meaning. Similarly, God cannot exist without Shakti. In short, Shiva cannot exist without Shakti, and Shakti is one with God. So, the worship of the divine goddess is the best thing to do in this time period. So, friends, that's all from my end. If you like this video, please mark it as liked on YouTube. If you have not subscribed to our channel, you can do so by clicking the subscribe button. For any queries, please write to us at astrosevaworld@yahoo.com and we'll be glad to assist you. You can also visit our website astroseva.tripod.com. So friends, thanks a lot. Bye. Take care and stay safe.